Recording in progress.
Mesha Steele.
Here.
My love, I tell you, people, yes, indeed, my love, I tell you, something talk about Mesha Steele. Without further ado, people, let me introduce Mesha Steele up in the building right now. What's going on, sister?
They are enough respect. Yo, I'm so grateful for this interview tonight. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Nice to see you, man. Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? You take the time. You'll be out here tonight.
Absolutely. I would like no place I'd rather be right now. New York weather right
That is
now. This is
it.
the
That is it.
perfect place.
That is
Seriously.
it. All right, Mesha. Yeah, man. For those out there who don't know who you are, who never heard about Mesha Steele, walk us through the journey of Mesha Steele. Who are
Oh,
you? Who are you? Where are you from?
I'm a simple Caribbean girl. You know what I'm saying? Belizean born, grew there. Raised by my grandparents after my mom's passing. And I grew in a yard filled with musicians, and it kind of just rubbed off. And I decided this was my path of life that I needed to take, and I took that path. And then it brought me to New York and took me, around the world to do what I love. So yeah, here
All
we
right,
are.
we're not going to talk about the music as yet. We want the people to get an insight who really you are. Okay, you were born in Belize.
That is
Those
correct.
Belize is a country, former British Honduras, a country in Central America,
Correct. South
Caribbean.
of Mexico.
Yeah, yeah. Even though a lot of people don't really suggest and think Belize is in the Caribbean, unfortunately.
Yeah, because they a lot of people tend to think it's South America. So I've gotten that a lot. But yeah, because I guess based on where they see it on the map, they think it's more towards, south. But technically it is Central America.
That's right. That's right. That's right. All right. So you were born in Belize,
Correct.
um, and you said your mom passed away. Wow. As a kid.
Yeah. As a boy, I was a baby, basically a toddler when that all happened, little bitty girl. So I don't have any memories of her per se. It's just kind of like a myth when they talk about her and how wonderful she was and everything that she was doing, in her short life and everything she accomplished. It's kind of like a story to me, and it kind of, somewhat became an inspiration. And
Right.
I needed to emulate that.
Right. So tell us, you grown up, you never knew your mom, but
No.
you got your other peers and stuff like that, of their mom, of their dad. You
Mm,
9, 10 year old, I reckon after your mom passed away, you were living with extended family member. Um,
right.
what would your life used to be like without a mom at that time?
Well, I will say this. It was up
Right.
surely difficult, right? Especially when I would see like maybe one of my peers in school mistreating their moms, or even a cousin of mine, like, they're, oh, I hate my mom or whatever. Like that really hit a nerve with me because a lot of them did not realize how fortunate they were or still are to be able to have their mom. And that really hit home for me a lot of the times. And it's just one of those things. It's a void that could never be filled. And the older I get, the worse it gets, honestly.
Mm,
Yeah.
I can imagine. So, what were your childhood like? Were you say Nisha was a little nutty girl, or she was
Well,
actually a good girl?
well, I was a rebel for sure. That I could tell you because my grandma, God rest her soul. So
Listen, I like because I like to do this because a lot of time people see the artist in the big screen don't really understand the struggle of what the artist
yeah,
will
the backstory, man, is so important because it's the fabric of who we become ultimately,
exactly,
right? Now
exactly.
having having said that, my grandma was, she was the iron fist. I
Hmm.
was like my granddad, I was, his baby girl, but grandma was the iron fist, mommy and daddy, mommy Mac and daddy Mac. So she envisioned us, me and my sisters, that we would marry and, a nice church boy and become a typist. So, because in the 80s, the typing thing and whatever, whatever. So, even in the 90s, when I was in high school, when finally went to high school in the 90s, typing was still a thing because computer did not fully come about like that, the way it is now. So, her mission was to make sure that we grew up to be decent girls or decent women, become a typist, and marry a church boy. So Um, I became a typist briefly.
Yeah, I interested you call your granddad daddy or you call your grandma mommy.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're mommy and daddy because like literally, that household, they were who I knew as mommy and daddy, right? My uncles and aunts call them mommy and daddy, so that was mommy and daddy.
Well,
And we didn't know any different until maybe I was like 6, 7 years old, and they told us the story about what happened to her mom and everything. And that's kind of when I realized like they were not my actual mom and dad.
I
Yeah.
understand. Understand. So, um, your schooling, I reckon you did elementary and like primary level and stuff in Belize. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, uh-huh. So,
Primary and high school basically. So, I got my education there. Um, and they kind of just gave me my diploma and kicked me out and told me to get out of your
all
case.
right.
I was
So
already
we're gonna get to the
moonlighting as
music
a
in a little bit.
musician.
So, have you played like sports or anything? I mean, you say
Track
you were
and
a rebel, so I
field.
reckon you were one of them little tom girl or
Well,
tomboy.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, well,
have you played sports as well?
yeah, but I was still quite girly. It's weird but my thing was track and field, and I
Oh,
always did boxing. But in school, I started as in the track and field world. That was my thing. Um, but by the time I got to high school, we were already doing music by that point. So, I was still running and whatever, but music took, the forefront of my life because of why we had to be doing it at that, stage. So, because it became our bread and butter, music was the number one thing.
ah, gotcha. So, tell us a little about your siblings.
Okay.
Let us look at the family setting. You what? What number you are? First, second,
I
third?
am the youngest of five, so I'm number five.
So
Um,
you a small baby. Were you small?
I wouldn't say I was the boss, and they hated me for that because just like my grandma was the iron fist when it came down to the musical part of it, I became the iron fist. And me being that young and having such grasp on it, they did not like that. But they had to listen to me because of why we were doing it. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, gotcha.
yeah. So I was their baby sister, but I was still their boss in some form.
It's like the whole saying, the first will become the first will become last and the last will become first. So
Basically, yeah.
so basically you take up the leadership role as a
Mm-hmm.
child.
Sure. Well, I'll give you a quick backstory. So
Hmm.
when okay, the yard I grew up in were all musicians. There was the Belize's number one band. That's the yard I grew up in. And when my grandfather would go to these meetings with promoters and such to maybe negotiate for a show or whatever, he would take me. He took me a few times. So I absorbed all of that as a little girl, less than 5 years old at this point in my life, but sensible enough to know is some type of business going on. And then when I would come home, I would have these little mock conversations on my toy phone, and I'm making mock deals like I'm the boss and I'm doing so. Um, but inadvertently, he was teaching me the game, the business. And
Hmm.
then when they left and migrated here to the United States, that's when all of that he inadvertently taught me came into place because now it was not a drill anymore. When they left, and we were left with certain family members and things like that, they were not necessarily doing right by us. Um, so that kind of catapulted us into the music industry very young. So I told my sisters, I'm like, we could either sit here and starve or we could use our voices and sing. And me being that young, because I was probably 9 years old at that time, only me and God probably put listen, because you can't tell me somebody that young, but I had all this confidence that this was going to happen, and it did. Of course, there were some hurdles, but I navigated my way through those by, for example, like if somebody, a promoter, would call the house,
Hmm.
trying to book us. We were called the M Girls, by the way, and we did like a lot of like the doo wop stuff was in like when Boys to Men was doing that stuff like in the still of the night
Right.
and all of that. So I crossed over to reggae and was doing different versions of reggae songs, kind of like that a cappella.
Hmm.
And it caught on. So when they would call looking for us, I had my cousin who was about 15 years old, and he has this deep voice at that point, sounding like an adult. I gave
Hmm.
him a script and be like, listen, just read this to them, I'll give you $10 or whatever.
Oh, so definitely you were born with greatness.
You
You were born with greatness. All right. So, thank you for that little story. Okay, so for what I'm saying, you were born in a musical family.
correct.
All right, Misha, but before music, there's anything within yourself you always want to become, or anything out there that you always want to do apart from music?
It's always been music. Always been. That has
Always been
been
music.
in my veins, in every fiber of me. It's always been music. I always knew that this is my calling and my way of life that I would be taking on early on. There was no question for me.
Okay, so you and your two sisters, y'all started this what was the name of the group? McGregor?
The
No,
McGregor girls, aka the M girls, for
yeah,
short. Yeah.
yeah, the McGregor girls. Is this group currently exist today?
Unfortunately, no, because that like it was a means of survival at that time in that stage of our lives. And when they graduated high school, they decided that they would choose different paths. And but I just kind of kept on going as a solo artist, and then eventually, not too long after, I got picked up by which would have been Belize's top band at the time, which they were the Messengers, and I became lead singer, the female lead singer from them as a teenager.
Awesome. We're gonna get back to that. Walk us through your transition now coming from Belize to the United States. What was that mean
Okay.
to you?
Um, I see now that's interesting that you mentioned that because I also always knew that New York would be the place. At 7 years old, I knew New
Mm,
York was it. Um, I came here about that age, and I remember I'm seeing the people with the big boom box on their shoulder and the cool hairstyles, and the 80s was just that like booming, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
my eyes was like this, although Harlem is not the Harlem that you see now. We drove through
Exactly.
we drove through there, right?
Definitely.
Um, but the culture and everything, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was so fascinated. I gotta tell you.
Mm.
Um, and I saw this lady that kind of looked like Pepper from Salt and Pepper because it's that era when remember Salt and Pepper in your heyday and all of that. And I'm like, oh
Yeah,
my
I know
God,
that.
like that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. And then because I was always, into fashion as well, because if you read my bio, like,
Yeah.
the household was also with fashion designers and athletes, and I became all three. So fashion was a really big thing for me. And when I saw all of that, I'm like, oh my gosh. Because
Mhm,
the Caribbean, like it's not like here, and especially in that era,
mhm,
certain things they will look at you all sideways if you try to, wear certain things. But like I know because as an artist, I got to be bold. Like this
mhm.
blonde you see I have going on here. When I
Right.
joined the Messengers, I had it cut like an inch
Oh, look at this.
because we were
Right.
touring so much and getting a hairstylist to do my hair, and it was colored this blonde right here. So I've been this using this as my image and likeness, this color for quite a while. And I got so many dirty looks, and I got called names over my fashion choices. But I didn't care because I'm an artist. Like this is me expressing, and fashion and music, I think, because fashion is an art form.
Yeah, it is. It
So
is.
yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
So those two things has always been my heartbeat.
So yeah, you coming from Belize, coming to the United States, we talk about the culture shock as I mean, different culture, different everything compared to back home in Belize. What are some of the challenges that you had to overcome moving here?
Um, well, number one thing was racism.
Ah,
Um, yeah. Racism was definitely a big thing. I had some Me Too moments in the music industry coming up, because now, as with the way I looked at like an athlete or whatever, and some of them thought I was some type of model or some type of whatever. So the way I looked when I
mhm,
was younger,
mhm,
it got me a lot of unwanted attention, and it was taking away from the art because it's like they approach me like, oh yeah, yeah, let's collab, blah blah blah. Let's do a meeting. They give me their cards, right, or I give them my card or whatever. Then
mhm,
the meeting is arranged, and then the meeting would. I'm like, okay, where's everybody else? Then it's like me and this one person at the table, and it's like he's ready to date me or something. I'm like, nah, dude, no.
mhm,
So ultimately, I abandoned a lot of projects early
mhm.
on because of that.
So basically, guys were looking for something where you're not settling for.
Correct. It wasn't about my artistry. It was about the way I looked and what they think they could get because I'm that young and I must not know anything, right? So they thought I was some type of naive person. But the way I was raised and all of that, and you know, and then the other thing, I guess I wasn't so called hungry,
Mm-hmm.
because remember, it's like I wasn't so much an up and comer because by that time in my life, I had already been on the road and toured and all of that. I've seen the world already. I've
Mm-hmm.
experienced music as an
Mm-hmm.
artist already, be it from the Caribbean going wherever I was going.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not green. And then remember, I grew up in a household filled with musicians and
Mm-hmm.
seeing the whole groupie situations and all of that too. So
So
I'm
from all
saying,
those experiences that you have seen, it taught
yeah.
you a whole lot.
So my one of my mentors called me a young veteran because I looked, and at this stage in my life, they're still asking for my identification because I did not look my age. And I don't even know if I look my age now, but we're not going to talk about that. But they thought that I was
I
much
hear you,
younger
I
than
hear
I
you.
that I really was. I think that was the issue, right? Because I don't abuse myself. I take very good care of myself. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't
Yes,
do none of that stuff,
right, right.
don't do drugs, none of that crap. But they did not probably expect that I would be, you know, that wise, I guess, and maybe not naive and not hungry and not know about, certain aspects of the industry.
All
And
right.
then that took me from being a beauty to becoming a beast.
So hold on right now. So we move to a different level right now. So okay, nice, pretty Mesha Steele, nice, easy going. This model that everybody see, look
Mm,
at you, everybody trying to holler at you.
mm,
So you were saying because of certain circumstances and situation, you realize guys trying to overstep wherever you don't want them to go. So you
right.
decide to tough up, beast
Yeah,
up.
but before that, I became very depressed. For a while there, I was depressed over it because it was horrible, right? And then realizing the patriarchy of all of it and all these different things that they put, especially Black women through, and I was just really taken aback about the whole thing, right? Um,
So, mm-hmm.
so literally, I chopped my hair off because at that point my hair was all grown out and all nice. Man, I chopped my hair off
Oh
because
man.
I did not want to be attractive. I just wanted them to see my art.
Oh, so is it a
Yeah.
situation getting into the industry as a woman, you face extreme, extreme discrimination as well too?
Yeah. Like, and again, because I'm a curvy Black woman, that
Ah,
had a lot to do with it because then if they see you look, then oh, you must be asking for something or you must be looking for something. Now, if you listen to my Me Too song, I have a song called Me Too that I wrote about the movement. It explains what a typical woman go through on a daily basis, and these were things that appeared to be the norm, and nobody respected you if you spoke up. So,
so,
yeah,
so you were saying this industry, basically this is a male industry, the music industry, run by
unfortunately, it has been, yeah. Um, Now, and then you put in the fact, like back in the 2000s that I'm talking about. Remember, back in those days, it's not like now how the independent artists can really thrive and get creative control because now there's YouTube, there's all these different platforms, digital platforms that could help us to, put our work to the forefront. These things that, they were essentially non-existent, at that time. It was a short time ago, but it was still a very interesting time to be in the industry because you couldn't get certain things done without a label and all of that and blah, blah, excuse me, blah, 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 right? So
Mhm.
that posed a challenge as well.
But for as a woman, how are you
Hmm.
able to sustain and keep up from falling to the pressure?
Well, you just say no. The fact that I was raised to be a lady had a lot to do with that. And the fact that, we were raised in the Caribbean to do a lot with very little. So I don't know about your household and how you were raised because you're Caribbean as well. But the way I was raised, it's like if
Mm.
we don't have it, we're going to do without it, and we're not going to compromise ourselves for it.
100%, I totally agree. Hmm.
Yeah, so that
But
stuck
Misha,
with
you
me.
want your music to be out there. You want to be voiced. You want to get that recorded. You want to be out there. I mean, you keep on pushing, you keep on pushing. Guys want whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've been around this business for a long time.
Correct.
Fortunately, you came from a background whereby you have seen a whole lot and you were taught and you were educated. But your
Mm-hmm.
other female counterpart all day, a lot of them fall to the pressure.
Unfortunately, and I feel really bad for a lot of them because, um, when you feel like this is your passion and this is what you're supposed to be doing, some people would do anything to reach that. And all I basically did, I looked for alternatives. Because look, for me, it was never about having my name in lights.
Hmm.
It was never about having a Grammy. It was never about going platinum. It was never about any of that. It's just me, like living my purpose in the Most High's kingdom,
Hmm.
and that meant be it whether I'm singing with
Wow.
a band,
Uh-huh.
whether I am teaching music to children, whether I am singing for the elderly, as long as I kept this gift going and using it in an honorable way. So once I got that mindset and I grasped that and I held on to that, the rest was history. Because my lights are on, I drive a nice car, I live in a nice neighborhood, I don't have a Grammy, I never went platinum, but yet music has sustained me and I make a good living doing it.
Nice. You just say something quite interesting. And I love where you're going right now. You said the most I. That tells me that Misha Steele have a deep rooted spirituality within her, correct?
It's a must because with everything going on, and then when I came to these United States to finally live here, and I saw how grimy this place could really be, if you don't have some type of belief system intact. And then I think all of that kind of stemmed from the fact that when my mom passed away, because it happened when I was so young, and the things that we had to go through as a
Hmm.
result of that, right? And my grandmother was a very spiritual woman, and the person who did committed the act was very close to us. So, and she was all about forgiveness. And all she kept saying is, leave him to God. So,
Got you.
and
Got
she
you.
was always poised. So, this is the type of role model that I had growing up, right? She was always about going back to the Most High and, how, just to live right in the Most High's eyes and things like that. And he's always watching. And this is the thing. So, my morals, I tried my best to keep my morals intact. And then at the same time, I had a young man, the love of my life, my son, who was watching.
Mm.
So that also put a bad weight in my back. And I'm like, you know what? I got to be the best human being I could be. So that he could see that women is just not just here to be having babies and be barefoot and pregnant or whatever, or to be
Mm.
some type of trophy or some type of object.
How bad situation really shape one?
Absolutely.
Is it sometime for the good or sometime for the bad? I'm
Yeah.
asking
But at
you.
the end of the day, we all have a choice. We could choose to make it shape us for the bad. We all have a choice at the end of the day. If we are human beings with intelligence, we all have a choice ultimately how we're going to, which way we're going to go. And I'm a strong believer in that.
Hmm.
I'm sorry this got so deep. I did not expect it.
No, 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 no. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Um, you been involved with your sisters, etc. and stuff like that. Um, Unfortunately, the band no longer exists and stuff like that. But um, without you getting in depth, there's any possible way maybe you guys can revise that band and bring it back together?
I've been asking, but um, I don't know. I've made an attempt around, right around the pandemic to see, but then again, it's an issue because I live here in the United States and they live in Belize. Um, one of them is a teacher, and one of them, she works for the government and all of that. And they went about their lives, and they're fine with just kind of singing in their backyards and whatever when they have their family gatherings and stuff like that. And I can't force them because I would love to do something, but I've tried, but I will not force. You know what I'm saying?
You being the lead vocalist from The Messenger,
Mm-hmm.
tell us about that.
Oh
Um,
boy.
yeah, tell us about that because you
Ah,
being the leader, being the like, quote unquote number one person, a part of the band and stuff like that. I'm sure sometimes you probably feel like, man, hey, um, most of the pressure sometimes fall at your doorstep. How do you curve that? How do you deal with that?
well, See, for me, doing what I do was never pressure.
Hmm.
Sometimes like, I can't remember the last time I was ever nervous when it came to that. It's just kind of like a thing that switches on,
That's it.
like
That's it.
when it's time. So I will give you an example. There was one time when we were supposed to go on a tour to like parts of Central America, like Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, I think Costa Rica and all that. And I got sick. I had a lung infection and I was in the hospital. Now, the day off, my road manager came and snatched me out of there. And they
Hmm.
brought a nurse practitioner or something like that so that they could, because I needed to get shots, like I think it was some type of antibiotics or whatever.
Hmm.
Now, I cannot sing a note to save my life at that point because I'm ill with the lung infection and all of that. But when it came down to it and it was time to perform, yo, they had me wrapped up like a nanny, bro. When it's time for me to perform, they unwrap me and everything and put me on that stage and yo, it's like a switch come on and I perform like nothing happened to me. As soon as it's done, I go back to then they wrap me up again, give me the antibiotic shot, take me to bed, make sure that my throat is all protected. We did that for 10 days. 10 days.
Wow, wow. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that shortly because it is very, very important. How do you keep yourself intact to be ready for another show, especially when you're touring and you're on the road? Because when you're on the road, sometime in a week you do four, five, six, seven shows, sometime in a week in different location. How do you keep yourself? What are some of the key ingredients to get your
Well,
body together? Um, Whether eat right, sleeping right. Tell us.
it's all of those. So because my voice is my instrument, so um I am a very boring girl when I'm not working. Like you know what I'm saying? I don't go to the clubs. I don't do nothing cold. Make sure that I'm properly eating, my fruits and vegetables, my honey and cod liver oil, like the raw honey with cod liver oil,
Mhm.
that sticks with me, my oil of oregano, things like that. But mainly vocal rest. So I will not overextend my voice. And then the longer you're doing it, also, you create or you retain muscle memory, right? If you train, you have enough training and you have the proper breath control and all of that, the way you do your breath, the breathing and all that, breathing control, you're not going to have a lot of problems. The issue comes when you're performing and you're sweating on the stage and you're not drying yourself. And even in the summertime, I carry a scarf to keep the vocal pipes warm, protected at all times. Dry yourself off, have a change of clothes, blah, blah, blah. Because simple things like that, even in the summer, can affect you. And like I said, the more rest you get, the better. And even when I'm not resting, sleeping, I'm not speaking to anybody. So you could be across the room and I'm texting you because my voice needs to be at rest, vocal rest. Gotta
Mm.
be very strict and very disciplined.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure you can see I've been drinking a lot of water here, right? My throat,
Yeah,
it's
but our room temperature as well, even in the summertime,
yeah.
room temperature. Oh my gosh, they hate me in my house because I will not put the AC on even in the summertime, and because summertime is my most busiest time.
I see. I see. All right, Misha. So we all know your uncle, a lot of people used to come over by your crib and stuff like do a lot of rehearsals, some of the biggest name in the business as well.
Yeah, man.
Tell us about your uncle. Yes, he was a musician, but how
My
influential he was in
uncles,
your life.
because it was more than one of them. And then my granddad, because he was the um, behind all of that. Before the band which they had my uncles in, which was Bamiki, there was a band called Harmonettes, which was his
Okay.
band. And he built an upright bass from scratch, 1931. Built that from scratch. This is in the history books of Belize. When Hurricane Hattie went to Belize, he put that bass in the fire station to shelter it. So all of that came from him. My uncles were very influential because now the singer one, he was the singer and the drummer. My uncle Deli, right? We call him affectionate Deli, but Delhart McGregor, or his stage name is oh my gosh, like seriously, I just had a brain freeze. Massive McGregor is his stage name now. He's on the West Coast, but he was my number one influence. Watching him in the morning times because every day like clockwork. When they still lived in Belize, he would get up and he would do his warm ups,
Hmm.
his
Hmm.
honey, bonus spliff. Then he started to do his vocal.
Come on. Hey man, you gotta be reserved to say that, man. Come on, man. Just say it.
Man, just the spliff because the herb was the medicine, whatever. But he
Right,
even had the
right,
herb
right.
in an alcohol bottle, like had it in to rub himself and all this stuff. But interestingly enough, it's like the spliff did not affect. It was so smooth, his voice, no raspiness. Yo, let me tell you. Okay, so what? Okay, let me give you a coincidence. The song you played for me, My Love, that's their original, and that's me paying tribute to them. The original was recorded in I think '82 or something. Um, and I remember when they wrote that song in the backyard, and I was harmonizing to it as a kid, and I was wishing I could be on that record. They went to Mexico to record that song, I think. No, sorry, California.
Mhm.
And he was actually telling me recently that I forgot the engineer that mixed it, but it was Bob Marley's engineer that mixed the original.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes, yes.
All right.
Um, but him, oh my gosh, his voice just, oh my gosh, and drumming and singing at the same time. So then my other uncle that on the bass, and then you had my cousin playing the keyboards. Man, my childhood, that part of my childhood is unforgettable because I actually learned instrument. I would sneak in a band room when they were not there or when they were sleeping, and I would go and play instruments, and that's how I learned um, keyboards and guitar. Yeah. So one day they caught me, and they basically started to teach me, give me a little something something. My cousin Elwin Juice was the one that played the keyboards. He caught me, and he gave me some lessons and taught me how to read music and everything. Man, this is where I got everything from, and now I'm teaching these children.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that is awesome. So we're seeing here in 2060 you win the tropical fee award. Tell us about an award that you won in 2016.
Okay, so this again is my role as a teaching artist to the youths in Brooklyn. Tropical Fete is basically, like a youth program where
Mhm.
they, you know, teaching children how to walk on stilts. We had a whole carnival squad on Eastern Parkway every, Labor Day, and then I was the leader of the choral of
Mhm.
that group. So I taught them how to sing, and we had a end of the year finale where everybody would showcase their respective talents, and I would bring them out, and then they would do their thing. And I got a what you would call a citation from one of the councilwomen, which I cannot remember her name, and I should remember. This is literally like off to my right on my mental, recognizing me for my contribution as a teaching artist. So that's for me. I'm most proud of that because that's me, passing on the knowledge that I got from my predecessors, and I'm passing it on to youngsters.
Mhm. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow. That is awesome. I mean, I'm looking at wow. I can't really read all this info here, but
yeah, it's a lot.
look at your bio right now while I was talking to you and stuff like that. You got a really extensive career. I mean,
Yeah,
wow, it's pretty impressive. You have been on tour with Barrington. You have done work with Damien and Warwick King. You have toured all of these guys and stuff like that.
correct.
Wow, wow, it's
Yeah,
pretty amazing. All right,
yeah.
so with you, Mesha Steele, the name Steele, where do you get that name from, man?
Okay. Remember, I told you I went from beauty to becoming a beast. That's
Yeah,
where
yeah,
Misha Steele
tell
came
us.
in because everything that I explained, everything else that I was going through kind of put me in a place that I could no longer identify with the name that I had at the time.
Hmm.
And for me to had found the strength that I needed to make a change. And that came in the form of Misha Steele. So I, dropped the name that I had at the time and I put Steele behind it. And that kind of was like another battery in my back to keep me going and to remind me what I'm made of. So that's how that came about.
Hmm. Wow, awesome. Misha Steele, I hate to drag you into this, but you're an artist, and one of the things definitely I think is important for me to ask you this question as well. We have seen over the years the greatness of dancehall or the greatness of reggae music, and there's a lot of arguments, people say. Oh.
It's hitting a
Here's the
nerve,
thing.
man. I know where you're going, but go
The
ahead.
culture, the current culture of our music, it
Mm,
is in the grave. It is dead.
of course.
Um, would you say there's a change in dancehall music? Um, let us hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Because what they're calling, dancehall music is not the dancehall that I know and love and that, we know and love. And the dancehall that I used to be doing Pepper Seed to in high school, like in the first four, bro. That era was the sickest era for me, man. And then I can go, oh, la, la, la,
90s, man.
bruh. These
Uh-huh.
kids have no idea. But then again, you have a kid like my son who is an old soul. He's like, oh, he loves that stuff. He does not listen to the modern stuff because he just thinks it's too raunchy. And so you have
Right.
youngsters complaining.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because see, it went from holding a vibe and nursing a stout or like a Guinness or a red stripe or whatever. The man on the wall just holding a vibe and the girl bubbling in front of him, and it went from that to like a wrestling match in
Basically,
the
as
dance
they call
hall.
it in Jamaica, rubber dub.
Yeah, so it went from that rubber dub era basically when you have the nice little backyard parties and string up and all of that too. There's like a damn wrestling match now because they're jumping from the rooftops and all of this to do all this crazy.
Right, but some artists who listening would disagree with saying some artists are listening right now would disagree and say, you know what, she talking some BS right now. She don't know
It's
what she's
which
talking
is
about.
fine because we're all entitled to our opinion. But
Right,
when you feel like art is you
right.
being raw and disrespectful and degrading and about genitals being, you know, consumed, the lack of a better word, and you're calling that music because who could be the most raunchiest? How is that art? How is that art? You know what I mean? And
Some
then
would say to you, Mishi, I mean, some would
dang,
say to
that's
you,
my
this is the
nickname
young
as a kid
people
too,
thing
Mishi.
today. This is not a yesteryear. This is today's thing.
Yeah, but I would say that manners don't go out of style.
Mm,
Decency
perfect
don't go out of
response.
style.
Perfect response.
You
Hmm.
understand?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then you look at the now, all right, look at if it has global appeal. There is
Hmm.
only a select, demographic that will gravitate towards that. So the point I'm making is this. I'm not sure if that will be timeless music unless the world is progressing into that culture that this is what we're doing now.
Hmm.
Makes sense?
Hmm.
Because now you look at a genre like rock music, alternative, whatever, it has been unchanged. They have their audience. And then, interestingly enough, when you have like or the Caucasian counterparts taking reggae music and winning a Grammy off it.
Oh man. All right. All right. All right. I'm quite interested. You're saying you just say what you say. So I'm gonna tread in that. Okay. When we talk about dancehall and we talk about reggae, Misha, I want you to differentiate the two and tell the listeners who possibly don't know what are the two. What is dancehall music and what is reggae music?
Well, dancehall music is dance music, party music, something that you could enjoy by going to the clubs and having a nice time with your queen or your king. Your queen, go to the club and leave the machine and carry your queen. You know what I'm saying? Reggae music can be the same because there's lovers rock that's attached to that, and then there's the cultural aspect of it, whereby we speak on social issues and all of that, and of course the religious aspect of it, where you speak about the Most High and these things. So, right, dancehall is supposed to be party music for everybody having fun, feel good, blah blah blah. Reggae on the whole is that.
You say reggae music is intimate, it's spiritual.
Some aspects, the roots part of it is spiritual.
Mhm.
Because remember, you have roots reggae, then you have the lovers rock aspect of it, where we could take any R&B or whatever song, and we could put that on a nice, smooth reggae record with a smooth bass line on a one drop or whatever, and you make that shit. Oops, sorry for that.
No, 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 you good, man. Hey, man, come on, y'all. This is right.
And
You
you
good.
make it nice and sensual, and it's a love song, and it would rival any R&B record too at the end of the day. Because when that bass line make your brother cool, no man. You know when you feel that bass line beating your chest. Yo,
Right,
and they mood with that bass. Bro. Come on, I'm a musician, man. Don't ramp with me.
right.
Because now, as opposed to the trap. So
Right.
for example, when I went to some fest last year, dinner appearance, brief appearance, whatever. Um, it was 4 hours of the trap music, and they were playing in one chord that I recognized, which might have it was either
Wow.
in an
That's
A
about that.
chord but it was either in an A chord or it was in G, one of those. But I can't because it's over a year now. And one sustain. So if you're a musician, you know what sustain means. It just means like you're holding the bass line, holding it down the chords, and that's what sustain means. As a musician, I'm an actual musician, so I know these things. So I'm listening from a technical standpoint because, all right, fine, the lyrics questionable, but let's hear the actual music part of this thing and see if it feels like music. No, because there were not, from my observation, no lead line in the actual songs to differentiate that you're going from one song to another. So it was like 4 hours of just sustain chords and, the beat, boom, 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 or you know what I'm saying? That's what I remember. It was a freaking mess
Right.
until Valiant came on. When Valiant came on, it changed.
Wow.
Everybody prior to Valiant, I can't tell you who was on there prior to Valiant because it was that redundant, bro.
Wow. So my question to you, Mesha, is it a situation whereby you're saying we have lost the plot?
Unfortunately,
Or
yes.
we're losing it? Which one?
I think it's our, it's been lost because number one, these uh, these current ones, I don't think they have look innovation. Let me before I say that innovation is cool, right? But when you lose respect for your predecessors, the ones who paved the way for this thing, and you're saying that your opinion don't matter, and you're just gonna do what you're destroying the fabric of this thing, basically. Unfortunately, to me that's what it feels like to me, right? Like it's being destroyed. All the work, the hard work that they did, and because it's a global thing. Because remember, everybody look up to Jamaica when it comes to this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, if it's not about the genitals being consumed, it's about destroying communities with murder and shut down this one and bust a shot and blah 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 and bad mind this and bad mind that. Like bad mind, oh, is that all? Is that
It's
the
like the
world we're living in?
narrative pushing, but Mesha, but you got creative artists. I mean, like real powerful, positive lyrics out there. Why is the situation? A lot of
Boy.
artists sometimes will say, "Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? I got some really good shit." You know what I'm saying? But just somewhat, my music just not going nowhere. What is the situation, and why some artists feel
Well,
like they're being shelved?
because the thing is, again, we're in a pay to play society too. This is not like early on when a DJ like a song and they go and spin that tune. You gotta peel off something now because this is the culture that we're in. And then of course the streaming aspect of this, you know, lends a hand in corrupting it. Because now for you to
Ah,
get on these playlists with these curators, you gotta pay to get on these playlists because the algorithm is not gonna move to your favor. Everything, this is all a numbers game now, bro. And at the end of the day, when the label has lost control in one form, but this is another way how they're retaining control in some form and robbing us of our revenues. I have one song right now that I have 50,000 spins and I haven't seen a dollar. And on Spotify alone, may I add, 50,000 spins since the year began. And I'm yet to see a dollar. Because
wow.
remember, now they moved the threshold. The threshold is now a bigger threshold. You're not going to see certain revenues if you don't,
Wow.
reach to a certain number. So I could kind of understand why they're doing what they're doing. So this is another reason why quality is being left behind, and it's all about quantity and who could put out the most volume of stuff.
That is it. That is it.
Yeah.
What is quite interesting? Sometimes you look on a YouTube page And you talk about quality and quant quantity and quality. And for me personally, I always go for the quality over the quantity. I mean,
Yep.
quantity doesn't really say much to me because one
Yeah.
of the things sometimes you go on some channel and you're gonna see what do you call that? 2 million views, 50 comment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I saw artists got like, I mean, she's really trending, and I saw
Right.
this I saw this female artist got like 2 or 3 million views in the space of like a week or so. And then one of the
Aha.
credits is like 50 or 60 comment. And, I mean, come on. We're talking
Nah,
about
bro.
50 comment or 60 comment
Because
or
though
likes. So you got 4 or 2 or 3 million views. What does that really say? What
those
is that
are
saying to
bots,
me?
though. That's bots.
Go
That
on.
is not organic. It's those are bots that's doing that. That is not organic. Especially because sometimes I'm like, wait, but who is this person? I don't know this person. And you're some yo, never heard of them. And then when you hear it, it's trash,
Mm,
right? And then when you put
100%.
auto tune in the equation, that's another thing. You have a lot of non singers making records because auto tune and melodies and all of that
Wow.
and bots. And then now you put AI, that's the new thing in a mix. Oh,
Mm.
Father God help us.
So it's a situation who have the dollars, basically
Yep.
whoever behind them, the team behind them, literally pushing them out there in order to keep trending. So
If
whether
you
they come
know
out and sing
this,
garbage or whatever, the blood boy, Ed Buck, spill boy, brain like jelly, and them kind of nonsense and
but
whatnot.
if
These
you
are the
know
things
this,
that literally trending. These are the things
yeah,
that societies are upholding.
yeah, because if you notice, some of them don't necessarily have a team, but because they understand it's a pay to play and they get on certain playlists. And because I've been inboxed and DM'd about these things to bring my numbers up, but I'm proud of my numbers. I'm not going to deter from that because those are my real people, right?
Keep it
I'm not
organic,
going,
man.
yeah, I'm not going to deter from that. Um,
Mhm.
but it's like a false sense of validation, I guess. Then you're not really doing it for the love. Like Chronic said, they're doing it for the light, not the loves, right? Right? Or the love's not the lights, right? He's doing it for the love,
Right,
not the lights. So
right.
they're doing it for the likes to be like, look at me, I'm trending. But remember, trend is the flavor of the day or the flavor of the month. And then
Mm.
after all of that,
So,
like,
all right, this is quite interesting. I like where you're going with it. So, for you as an artist, trending and
hmm,
sustainability is you would you say it's two different things?
it is two different things because being trendy and being timeless, which would you prefer?
So
Would you
being
prefer a
trending,
song that's the flavor of the month, or you make a good record, make good music that you could go back and listen to it and it still sounds current because it's timeless.
wow, wow, this is powerful. Yes, 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 indeed, yes, indeed. Totally agree with you. Um, as an artist and as a female artist,
Hmm.
how important it is for you, Mesha Steele, to remain relevant in this industry.
See, um, I'm not fighting for any of that. I just believe that whatever my time is my time, and I will make the most of that time doing it to the best of my ability. Whether I trend or not, or whether I'm relevant or not, is of no consequence to me. For me, this is a way of life for me. It's not a numbers game. It's not none of that. You know what I'm saying? If I become relevant in the process, then fine, right? But I will not compromise myself or sell my soul or whatever to remain relevant. Just
Mm,
nah. To me, that's a hollow victory. That's to feed the ego, not to feed the soul. And I believe in feeding my soul.
100%, 100%, Misha. We're gonna definitely take a song break coming up shortly. But we have seen you have toured the world with some really big names within the industry. What are some of the what are some of the most memorable time you would say going on tour that you really enjoy?
Okay, a recent memory.
Yeah,
One of my doing
uh,
something that was on my bucket list.
yeah.
Opening for Barris was one. Um, putting on a show with Capleton, because we put on an actual show where we had Capleton as a headliner, and we did that under my banner, Rhythm All Stars. So I put the promoter hat on for that, and we put off a successful show. And so those were the things that, of recent memory that sticks with me. Then there was a time early on when I was in the R&B world, when I opened for A. Marie, and well, I didn't even say open. We were like headlining together or something, because I was supposed to be that up and coming, whatever. A. Marie, Bobby Valentino, and who else? I can't remember. Wendy Williams was one of the hosts for that. So those were things like sprinkled around in my career, things that I can remember. Wow. Oh yeah, things like that. Because it just
Awesome.
shows like I could do anything.
Awesome. All right, you know what we're gonna we've been going for a while now, so we're definitely
Yes.
gonna get play
The
a
people
song right
like, play some music already. Yeah, y'all talk too much.
All right, people, it's the Dollar Man or Nisha's feature with Dollar Man. Yeah, please open the vibe to the Friday Night Vibe, King Rocco Edgy alongside. There's the reggae artist, Mesha Steele.
Big up.
Yo, this is Mesha Steele from UVC Radio.
Mesha Steele, a type of international dancer recording artist.
I've been thinking so much things about you. I've been dreaming about what I will wrong you. If I ever my way, oh, I've been checking you off on the list, but you've been patient for my death. When I get my head.
Yeah, check out our people on Instagram, also Facebook, and YouTube. Mesha Steele. Well, this is a big shout out to all our listeners down in Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, Bojuka, Massafa, Sakwase.
Oh.
Kingston, Jamaica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados, what's going on?
Wagwan.
In Brooklyn, East New York, what's up? Browns, New York. New Jersey, we see you guys locked in the house right now. North Carolina, Miami, West Palm Beach, Orlando. All of our listeners down in Toronto, Canada, also the UK. Accra, Ghana, we see you guys locked in. Also Perth, Australia.
Pop.
It's up with the vibes right in Friday Night Vibes. Let's keep you alive. King Rocco AG, alongside Mesha Steele.
You gotta go with me. I don't really care who thinks that I'm wrong.
Dollar Man featuring Mesha Steele. Yeah, people, do the right thing. Do the right thing. Tell a friend to tell a friend. The party mode is all about the vibes, you know what I'm saying? Lots of love. She got the love. She got a love. She got a thing. Misha, tell us about this one, man. What was the mess behind this song?
Well, the classic flirt between a man and a woman and what's gonna happen and blah blah blah, the anticipation. You know what I'm saying? So but Dalla is my brethren, my longtime brethren. Coincidentally, he was my drummer early on when I first moved to the US, and they had created a band around me. He was the drummer in the band, but bona fide brethren from a long time, you know?
Yeah, well, I did
And
some work with Dollar Man some time ago. I
yeah,
think a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
yeah, man. I have a brethren, man.
All right.
And one day he just kind of called me up because now, I was his love interest in a couple of his music videos, putting on my actress hat. So he's like, you know what, I gotta put you on a record because we go way back, blah blah blah. You paid your dues in industry and all of that, but that was a convo. And then they sent it. I listened to it, and when I went to the studio, I kind of transformed it to what from what they wanted, into my version, and they were blown away. And we just kind of recorded it right on the spot, and this is how we have that song, and it's one of my favorites actually.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Definitely that's what's up. We're gonna get into our next one right now. Let's get into this. Can I let you go? Mesha Steele.
And my friend, ooh, can't deny this, so I can't pretend. Ooh, too profound for me to comprehend. All I need, all I need,
No way. When the Rocco HD inside, no way. UVC radio now, say we not to blow. Rocco HD in now. Look what I cheek when you're rocking with the boy King. Rocco HD on the radio.
feel it in your touch. UVC radio, I'm on time.
Mesha Steele.
Baby, King Rocco, I'm setting this online.
Yo, this is Mesha Steele, and you are listening to UVC radio. Feeling so good. Let's us together. Keep it locked.
Let me in, my lover and my friend. Ooh, can't deny this, so I can't pretend. Ooh, too profound for me to comprehend. All I need, all I need, all I need is you in the world so cold.
Song titled Can I Let You by Mesha Steele.
Let your mind to have to hold. Oh, I feel it deep down within my soul. Well, it's for each other, baby. Feel it in your touch. Feeling that just can't let you go. Feeling that just can't seem to let you go. Feeling that just can't let you go. Feeling that.
Love like magnet Steele, just can't let you go.
Well, man.
Let's do it, people. It's all about the vibes running the Friday night vibes. Yeah. King Rocco AG alongside Mesha Steele. International dance star reggae artists.
In the street, it's never felt like this. Oh, started in the city with one kiss. Oh, why didn't I take a one like this? Knowing I'm the one your man is. All I need is you in the world.
I tell you, you can definitely bounce on that song. You know what I'm saying? You can definitely bounce on it.
Have to hold. Oh, I feel it deep down within my soul.
For each other, baby. Oh.
Everybody was streaming live from everybody.
Hey.
Check her out, people. Check her out. Check her out. Mesha Steele. Yes, indeed. Just can't let you go. By the one and only Mesha Steele. I tell you, people, that's big and that's deep. I don't want to ask questions, but
I knew it was coming.
but can't let you go. Can't let you go, Mesha. Well. Tell us the best behind that one there, man.
Well, I mean, look, it's about a summer romance. You know what I'm saying? And you were just kind of getting, same thing that we talked about earlier, party nice and you meet a nice person and blah, 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 and the vibes flowing and you got to have a good time. And you know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
But okay,
but
so
I want to tell you
the
something a little reserved, but I want to leave that alone.
Yeah, see, because remember, on aside from everything, I teach music to children. We don't know what the internet might do with these things, so I have to be very careful, and maintain the fact that I'm a lady. Anyway, I'm an unofficial therapist.
Okay.
This song, and I will tell you why. Everyone that I know, all my friends, everybody come to me for advice when they have their boy, their man trouble, whatever trouble.
Same here, man. Same here.
The therapist is in the house.
I know what you're talking about.
This song came from, one of my girlfriends was with me. I think it might have been Turks and Caicos or something that I performed one time, or I can't remember, but one of the islands. Anyway, and she went with me. She was, I wouldn't say an assistant, but she was with me to do whatever I need and blah, blah. I would always take one of my girlfriends. Anyway, she met somebody. We were there bouncing and chilling out for like a week or whatever. And I guess romance was in the air. And you know what I'm saying? So,
all right.
But I guess she got stung really bad. This is what she's telling me. It's like, yo, I can't let him go. Like I know we're meant to be together. Like, this is my soulmate, blah, blah, blah. And I believe this. And he's like, because he's like like at this point, she's saying that's supposed to be her husband. So this is where I believe that you're mine to have and to hold. That's what that means. Because in marriage, the marriage vows is to have and to hold. Mm-hmm. She feels it in her soul because that's her soulmate, that you're meant for each other. So this is how that song was born, based on a conversation that she is pouring her soul out to me. And oh gosh, Mesha cannot help herself. I decided to make a song out of it because she was feeling it, baby.
I got you. Great story behind that. But you know what I like about the song as well too? It got a nice bounce to it.
The dancehall element is in there, the R&B, yep, because these are all my influences. And then it kind of feels, give you the Caribbean flavor, but they give you
that's what I'm saying.
That European global flavor, the electronic flavor. These are all influences that I love. And then the R&B, because I'm a really soulful person. So I had to write a record that felt like a love song too at the same time, and you can dance to it, and it's nostalgic because everybody been through some type of thing like this. If you're grown enough and you live this life, you've been through something like this at some point. That's what's up.
All right, let's definitely get to the next song right now. That's what we got here.
You're listening to UVC Radio, the sound that binds us together.
Lift up your head and hold it up. We know that the winds are cry.
longing for a better choice. Wishing my bad ones could just go away.
Mesha Steele.
Life getting harder, not even about that. It is the son and me daughter. Baby father gonna leave the answer.
We say pull up that one, pull up,
Pull up because that's some survival, bro.
UVC, radio.
Mesha Steele.
Baby, King Rocco, I will set the place alight. This is Mesha Steele, and you are listening to UVC Radio.
Wanna make tomorrow a better day. Everyone is longing for a better choice. Wishing the bad ones could just. The weaving never that it is the son and me daughter. Baby father gonna leave the house I suffer. One of me life them rock up the water. Me pray to the Father for teacher. Hoping for a better day. I walk the corner. Wishing them the future.
Everyone is looking for a new life. Wanna make tomorrow a better day. Everyone is longing for a better choice. Wishing the bad ones could just go away. It's always a struggling. Only way to eat is if you do a little juggling. That's my job the other day, so I started smuggling. Longing for an ending, but it's just the beginning. Hope things are suffering. Woke up this morning.
Because I'm sorry, decorate the way they decorate the school garden. Can't think the work for simply have to think fine.
Everyone is looking for a new life. Wanna make tomorrow a better day. Everyone is longing for a better choice. Wishing the bad ones could just go away. Life getting harder, no even I'm a dime, baby, this one on me daughter. Baby father gonna leave me out here a sofa. Don't know
Turn off the lights and rock off my water. Me put the father.
Everyone is looking for a new life. Wanna make tomorrow a better day. Everyone is longing for a better choice. Wishing the bad ones could just go away. Everyone is looking for a new life. Wanna make tomorrow a better day.
Mesha Steele, I tell you people, she's so wicked and blessed with talent. Wicked with talent. You can just vibes to that beat, you know what I'm saying, people? You can just vibes to it. Damn. One of the things I'm listening to you and stuff like that, Mesha. You got so many different personality, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I love it, man. I mean, you got the pop vibes to you, the R&B, the dancehall, and the whole reggae vibe. Tell us about this one here.
Okay, so Get a Blues is the story of a single mother struggling to make ends meet. After, the baby father leave the situation, of course, the mom has to stay back and be with the children and have to find a way to, make sure that the child can sustain and have a life. And, I think that single moms are the real MVP in life because this is a subject that people don't talk about enough. Women, especially moms, decrease themselves a lot in order to increase their children. So this is like me just paying homage to every single mother that I know, including myself at one point, because I was a single mom at one point. And what you hear is the story. It's based on a true story. So this is me telling it from my perspective, right? And so, juggling just mean that I gotta juggle motherhood with work and with everything else, trying to just make ends meet, live a life, make sure the bills are paid, make sure that my son, has getting his education, his homework is done, all of this stuff, make sure that he has adequate care when I am, doing my job.
Mhm.
And this is a tall order, right? And then you still have to be present for them, even though life is hard on you. All these hardships are going on. And,
Mhm.
some days you want to cry. You can't, yo, they say no crying
True.
in baseball. That's bullshit. Ain't no crying in single
True.
motherhood, bro.
True. True.
When you got your kids looking at you and they're belly hungry.
True.
You know
True.
what I'm saying? They belly
Absolutely
hungry.
true.
They did not ask to be here. So, bro, like that was the battery in my back. I remember at 7 months pregnant. I'm like, oh shit, he's coming. Yo, I
Wow.
gotta get my act together. I swear, yo.
Wow. Wow.
Like I
Wow.
just woke up one day with OCD. I'm like, oh, he's coming. I gotta do this and I'm like, I'm looking at the house. I'm like, this house is a mess. My baby's coming. Yo, and from that point on, it became all about him.
Right.
So
Right.
when I say I reduced myself to make sure, because there was a lot more that I could have done musically,
Mhm.
but because I wanted to make sure that he had the life that I did not have.
Interestingly, we're gonna get back to the music. That is so important. I always tell a lot of people and stuff like that. As a parent, one of the things, um, a lot of time your life don't really belongs to you. In a
No.
better word to say, because it's just somebody dedicates you dedicate your time
Yes, indeed.
towards the kids. Sometimes a lot of people may see you, or sometimes may not hear from you for a while, or you must like, hey man, I'm gonna hit you up, and then
Mm-hmm.
because I've experienced it personally a lot of times. Sometimes
Right.
people accuse me sometime of thinking like, man, you think you're too real, or you think you're better than us, or you don't longer hang out with us, or you don't longer call us.
Oh
But you see, one
boy.
of the things a lot of people don't understand sometimes, parenthood sometimes you get a better of you. It takes a lot of the view. See, it's
It
not like you
does.
don't longer care or you're not interested in hanging out, but I think you just got to focus on what is before your eyes.
Because it got
Yeah,
real and you are adulting.
yeah.
And Eddie, listen to me. Let me tell you something. I do not have many friends precisely
Ah,
for that. Because
yeah,
when it
yeah,
comes
yeah,
down to it, and my
yeah.
child, like if I had to move, first thing I gotta see is what school is in that area. Who's hanging out in that area? Is there any sex offenders in that area? So it wasn't even about me. It was always about him. You know what I'm saying? How would it
Mhm.
affect him if I go on tour right now? So I became a weekend warrior for a bit. I was still doing bands and whatever, but I was only doing it on the weekends and whatever because I wanted to make sure he was good. And then when he went, I put him on the plane in the summertime. Then I spread my wings and I did my music full fledged, and it was like that for so many years.
Awesome. So, Misha, I understand you're a family woman. You're hard off. I mean, what did he say to you? I mean, you're an entertainer. You go
I
out there, you
mean,
can
what
do your
is he
thing.
gonna say, honey? Listen, let me explain something to you. Um, Now the
Mhm.
first marriage was I was a trophy in the first marriage and I couldn't handle that because I'm independent. I'm fiercely independent. And that ended because he wanted to treat me as some type of, oh, don't worry, your pretty little head and just stay home and be barefoot and pregnant. Bullshit, that's not me.
Straight 100.
Right? So the single motherhood came in when we separated and I I gotta make sure everything is good with my son. Put him on the plane, blah blah. Like I said, and I do my business. And then when I was on tour some years, this years ago, I met somebody or he spotted me, and I'm like, and he's talking to me. I'm like, what do you want? I got a business tour. I'm like, what do you want?
Right, right,
And
right,
bro,
right.
and forgive my French, but I was
No,
my
no, you
bitch.
go, man. You good. You good. You good.
I was my bitchiest self because I'm like, I'm not, listen, I'm not compromising who I am.
Right,
I'm not
right, right,
compromising
right,
what I
right.
do.
That's
Because
it.
to my mind, at that stage, yo, the only man I'm doing that for is my son.
Yes, sir. Correct.
I'm not reducing myself for anybody else.
Mm-hmm,
So if
mm-hmm.
this is what you want, and yo, that pursuit went on for a good while
Mm-hmm.
before I gave him the time of day. Because I'm like, dude, I'm busy. When you like,
Right, I got you, man.
like. But the interesting part is that this time around, it's like the Most High sent me somebody who not only did he understood my assignment, he did not just understand my assignment. He supported it.
Very
You see
important.
because look, prior to that, because I'm a woman and I was supposed to be the type of because that one was a church boy. The first one was a church boy.
Oh, God.
Right? So in his mind, and mind you, he also met me on the forefront
what
of
you doing.
This is when I was with the messengers and I'm in my
right,
in my element, and he was, I guess,
I got you.
Smitten maybe, right? And but when it came down to it, and once we got married, dude wanted me to just be barefoot and pregnant to be some type of trophy who depends on him for everything. And when you come off of the heels of a girl like me, taking care of herself since she was like 9 years old and making her living as a musician that young, I'm in high school and I'm running a business in high school. And I've been taking care of myself that long. And you decided, you're just gonna be a church girl.
It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
Because I did wanted to sing in the church, but
right.
he didn't even want me to do that because he thought that would take away from him.
Oh, I see. Wow.
So
that's crazy, man. I got what you're saying.
So I had to slowly back away from that situation.
Well, you know what? The most important thing, we got about 10 minutes or so remain, but the most important thing, you find yourself in an important place. All right, let's get into our next song from you right now.
Yeah,
we're gonna
man.
2 more songs, then we're gonna wrap it up. Let's get into this.
Yeah, man.
All right.
When is it blowing alongside Mesha Steele? And this is the way we feel.
Baby, I know I feel
We have touched the road tonight.
Hey!
Oh, yeah.
Mesha Steele.
The vibes. Oh, Lord. We have fancy careful drive.
Started time to touch the road.
Well, just alcohol is smelling nice. Hey.
I'm gonna tell you how to build a vibe, baby.
Want to make shout out to everybody who are locked in wherever you are all across the globe. You're tuned with #1 station, UVC Radio. This is the sound of binds us together. We build bridges, we don't break bridges.
Tonight we'll be drinking and dancing.
Yeah.
Madam.
From long time you want me, man, come take your shot. Show me your rhythm, let me show you what I got. On the spot, make it hot. I feel the vibes, baby, and I just can't stop.
Turn up.
Tell me why you bubble like a
What a stupid apart.
Rub down me back.
Boy, I mean just love.
Yes, you know I love you when you know that I care. But me ready to go straight. No one try them a chat. Listen, I give you it straight to the heart.
Turn up the song, my friend.
Surfing all around.
Tonight we'll be drinking and dancing.
We are
Badam.
Touch the road tonight. Babes, me really feel the vibes. We have fancy
You are rocking with UVC Radio, the sounds that bind us together.
I'm feeling.
big spinning and chocolate alive.
Say what? No selector. Turn on the sound bartender.
Surfing all around.
Tonight we'll be drinking and dancing.
We are
Whoever with the time.
and again, and again. Touch the road tonight. Oh yes. Cause I really feel the vibe. We have fun together.
Ah, boy.
Just be
Don't
like
alone
Colombian.
play me now.
Give me the beat.
I'm gonna tell you how to build a fire, baby. Big feet and chocolate alive.
Badam,
Touch the
badam,
road. Yes,
badam.
indeed. Yes, indeed. Mesha, man, you got some really, 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 really good vibes. What keep you motivated?
Life. Life is, a constant soundtrack. Everything for me, I see it in music. Everything, whether the good or the bad, and music has gotten me through it. So I just find a way to sing a song. That's it.
If person out there trying to find your music, where they can find your music?
Of course, there's platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, um, Amazon Music, all of that stuff. Just at Mesha Steele, Mesha Steele. And then, of course, my social media is the same thing: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X or Twitter. Just Mesha Steele. If you Google me, you'll see everything pop up on my videos, all these different things. YouTube is the same thing as well. So it's just my name. If you put my name into any of these platforms, you will find my channels.
Is anybody out there you would like to shout at Mesha?
Just shout out to all the listeners out there, taking the time to listen to us tonight, taking the time to hang out. I hope everybody enjoyed the vibe because I know I enjoyed this conversation. It's been a while since I've been this deep. Um, you know, you were very thorough with the interview. So of course you big up yourself as well and enough respect. Thank you for, giving me this time and this platform.
Yes, 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 indeed. Definitely want to big up Maria as well to make
Yes,
this
indeed.
possible.
Maria, big up yourself because she is another one that is, doing the thing for people like us independent artists, to reach out and have a platform and to be heard and to find our listeners.
Wow, yeah, definitely. Big up yourself, Maria. Definitely, you're doing a wonderful job. Um, Mesha, what did you would say to any artist who want to get into this business?
I would say don't be afraid to be yourself, because there are a lot of cookie cutters out there who feel like that formula that another artist use is going to be their formula for success. And it's not a cookie cutter thing. We are not meant in this life to do everything the same time and the same way. Some of us are late bloomers in this, and some of us come up early, but the fire also burn out early. So keep that in mind, right? Yeah, if you could be trending, but like I said, the same thing, it will burn out. Like it's a little flame that's here, and then it burn out, and that's it. So I would just say that if you have a gift with you, like the gift of music, just be responsible with it as well, because you want it to age well. You want to listen to it 10 years from now, 20 years from now, your grandchildren, your children to listen to it,
Mm-hmm.
and you're proud of what they're hearing because you told a story, an important one at that. Whether it is
Mm-hmm.
a nice love song because that is the feeling that you were in, but be respectful and whatever because you never know how these things will age.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And don't be afraid to disappoint and don't be afraid to say no.
Mm-hmm. Mesha Steele, definitely. I'm gonna close this interview right now. Um, I let the birdie tell me that you do Christmas music as well
Oh
too.
boy.
So you know
Ah,
what? Some of us love to receive gift, and some of us love to give gift. This other one sort of fence you on. You know what? So we're gonna definitely close up the show tonight with this song here from you, Mesha Steele. Mesha, we definitely want to thank you for being a part of the interview tonight, and appreciate you. And keep on putting in the work and keep on doing what you're doing. Yeah.
man, I
God
appreciate
blessings.
you too. And same here. You keep doing what you're doing because we need y'all, man, doing this.
Yeah. You know,
God bless.
I really want to make you do a cappella tonight, man. But I think we'll be there for a long.
Okay.
I'm trying to be kind to you, but I really
Oh,
want
I
you to do
mean,
a
I mean,
cappella.
I can. What do you have in mind? Do I need to do one of my songs or?
You know what? I want you to do this a cappella, man. Just do a little something for the listeners.
Okay, Christmas. Let's do a little Christmas something then.
Anything, man. Anything. We're gonna work. Anything we can
Okay.
work with.
Hang on the mistletoe. I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. And as we trim the tree, so much fun it's gonna be together. This Christmas, fireside is blazing bright. Carol to the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me.
Wow. Mesha, much love and respect, sister. Appreciate
Maximum respect. Bless up, man. I hope
bless
you
up,
do
bless
this
up,
again
bless
soon,
up.
man.
Yeah,
Love
people, you've been
respect.
listening to a special, I tell y'all, gonna be special and epic. You know we do things around here, right? Mesha Steele, born Belizean, you know what I'm saying? Reside now in New York. All right? I'm King Rocco, HG broadcasting live out in Manhattan, New York. You know what, people? Join us same time, same place next week. God, we're going to do this again. But you know what? Since Christmas in the air, let's leave this one with Mesha Steele.
Oh. No, sir.
Man, listen, I just got the album. I just get your Christmas album, you know what I'm saying?
UVC radio, I done the best tonight, baby. Keep my God, set the place
It's a very special, very, very special Christmas. The name of the album, people, Christmas in Paradise. Y'all go check it out on Spotify or Deezer or Apple. And also support the artists, right? You know, we love stuff for free, you know what I mean?
You don't know.
Purchase the album, people. Yeah, people, Mesha Steele. The name of the Christmas album is called Christmas in Paradise.
You're listening to UVC Radio, the sound that binds us together.
On the rooftop, lights down low, as the music plays, as the faster melodies flow, we dance the night away. As the moon shines bright in the starlight, they told me,
Y'all feeling our Christmas mood, right?
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite album.
Yeah.
Definitely my favorite album.
I have no
This the jam right here. This the one. Have yourself a
Oh, people, I tell you, people. Wow, she is so talented, people. Mesha Steele.
From now on, our troubles will be outside. Yes, have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, your troubles will be miles away. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days.
You are rocking with UVC Radio, the sound that binds us together.
Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years, we all
I'll just be available to light blue. I'll wait up for you, Santa baby. Hurry down the chimney. Think of all the fun that I missed. Think of all the feelings that I have to give. If you like to be oh so good, if you check up my Christmas list, little baby.
Santa baby.
I want to hang out in that feeling night, alright. Oh, yeah, Santa baby.
Well, people, it's not even Christmas yet, but I'm feeling a Christmas mood right now.
Word. Santa baby, hurry down the street tonight. Oh, my brethren, God rest his soul. Pop, pop, pop.
Hey! Mesha Steele featuring Anthony Miller.
Anthony Miller, yeah, the late Anthony Miller. He passed away too, man. God rest his soul.
That's it.
With a tail as big as the There's a lesson to the shepherd boy. You are holy. Hey.
Man, people, listen to me, man. Listen to me. Y'all gotta go check this album out on Deezer. You can find it on Deezer Music, Apple, and also y'all can check it out on Spotify as well. The name of the album, Christmas in Paradise. Y'all gotta go check it out now. Purchase the album, people. Support the artists.
Support the thing.
Yes, indeed.
In the palace one, mighty king. The child.
She was in the cold.
Oh,
Let's bring silver and gold. Let's bring silver and gold. Say the king to the people everywhere. Listen to what I'm saying. And people everywhere. Listen to what I say. Listen to
I tell the people what a special, what an epic interview tonight from recorded international dancehall artist Mesha Steele.
pop, pop, pop.
Yeah. Y'all can definitely find this interview. Y'all can look it up on Spotify, Mixcloud, also Apple Podcasts, and also y'all can definitely find it on YouTube and quite a few social. Also, tune in podcasts. Y'all can definitely gonna find this interview in the next couple of days or so. All right.
Don't you know? Yes, I know. What I know.
Y'all can definitely check us at the World Wide Web, UnitedVisionConnect.org/radio, also Instagram, UVC.radio, TikTok, UVC Radio, X, that is at UVC_radio, YouTube, UVC Radio 1. Also, y'all can definitely find us, people. Also on Mixcloud, that is UVC Radio/Mixcloud. Also, y'all can definitely find us on your Amazon Alexa smart speaker. All you gotta say, Alexa, enable UVC Radio, and that's it. Also, your Apple TV, also your Rocco box, y'all can definitely find us as well. And also remember, when you get to our website, UnitedVisionConnect.org, you go and sign up for our newsletter. Put your first name, last name, email address, and submit, and that's it. Anyway, in the meantime, between time, we love y'all. Peace.
Bless up.
Blessings, blessings, blessings. All right.
Thank you, sir. This was awesome.
Big up, definitely, Mesha, definitely.